Hello, this is Chris. Thank you very much for watching. Today I will be talking about our next tab. In my previous videos, I talked about making a custom text logo or uploading an image logo, making a custom header, height of your header, making a custom title for your pages, defining all that. Today I'm going to be talking about the master background. The master background controls everything outside of your pages and your header. So this whole section is your master background. And very simply, I could have an image master background or a color master background. So let's start with a color master background. Assuming I wanted my main site to have maybe a black background or gray background, I can just come here and select a gray background, select the color I want, pick the color, hit save, and by doing that and refreshing my website, now I have a gray background. Your text doesn't look so good here, but that's in future videos. I will talk about how to change the color of your text on the sidebar as well as the text on anywhere on your website pretty much. What if I wanted to display my color all the way to the very top, even under my logo? I can go to my page header and hide my header. And by hiding my header, my color goes all the way through. I can go ahead and uncheck that to redisplay my header, and my header appears again on my image, on top of my background. What if I needed to, on the master background, use a custom image, not just a color like I did with the dark color? What if I needed a custom image? I can delete my background, and here I can paste in a URL of a custom image. So let's go ahead and find an image. Remember, every time you roll your mouse over any one of the books, it explains what that section does. So this tells you can put in a URL from your files. So if I click on files, it takes me to my file browser, and I can click here. On the creatives, we've taken the liberty of adding a couple of images for you. Feel free to use them or use your custom images you upload yourself. So I can select the background I like. That's one background. I could use, that's a background. So let's go ahead and copy the link. Every time you select an image, you can get the link for that image. I can go back to my control panel and paste this background right there. This section defines where you want your background to go. As you can tell, this is one big background image. So I don't need this image to tile multiple times on my background. I don't need it to repeat itself. I just need it to show up once. And that's where we go no repeat. Secondly, do I want this, if it were a small image, do I want this to tile from top to bottom or from left to right? Those are what those do. Sorry for the bad English. But I don't need this image to tile. So that's what I select. This section is for background position, assuming it's a really big image and I needed this image to be loaded at the bottom of the page. I would select that, and just by saving this preference, I can come to my main website and refreshing my page. Now I have a custom look and feel for my background. Just as simple as that. I mean, you can move things around. You could define, as you can tell, the bottom here is still gray. I can define a color for my master background, make the master background black, which is the base color, so the actual image looks like it's continuing. And once this is saved, so black, actually let's go all the way to black. Save that, and it tells you it's saved right there. So if I come here and refresh the page, so you can see it's all black. The top of my image is being cut off because of the header. So I can actually come back to my header and hide my header, and saving that. There you go. I not only have my logo up there, I have this section. Now you notice the page itself is a little bit shy of this image. Assuming this was your website, you obviously want to use a custom image you make for your website. But assuming you have no means of making images and you want to make this work, how about moving this whole section up a little bit? You could do that, because with your main page, you could define a negative value to actually move your content up. So say I wanted to move this by 50 pixels. A negative value means to go move it up, while a positive value means to move it down. And this explains in detail. So move it up by 50. Save that. I can come back here, and you notice that gets moved up by about 50, closer and closer to my image. I mean, you could tweak this, make changes to this and move it as much as you want, making changes to your background. What if you wanted to use a background that wasn't so difficult to work with? You wanted to tile a cool background. I can go back to my files, creatives, if you don't have an image of your own. So say I wanted to, let's try something else. Say I wanted to use this image. I can select this. Now you notice this image is really tiny. So obviously I want to tile this image on my background. So I can come back here, paste this image. I can say I want this image to repeat all. Repeat all means to repeat throughout the entire background, while this just means to repeat from top to bottom or from left to right. So repeat this image everywhere, starting from the top. And let's go ahead and save that. So if I came back to our website and I refresh the page, you will notice I now have this really cool background image which is repeated all over my entire background from page to page, no matter where I am. So you have options of customizing your background, the look and feel. You can add your header back in if you needed to do that. Your background image just automatically continues from the bottom of that. You have the options of doing pretty much anything you required or needed to do with your design. So feel free to make as many changes as you need. Feel free to customize your website to fit your needs. Obviously, using tinier images or smaller images to fit your design is a lot better than using a custom built or custom sized image, because when you use a custom sized image, you don't make room for other things you might want to do with your website. An image logo, a bigger text logo, things like that. You have to factor all that into consideration when using a fixed image, like the first image we had. Once again, master background, very easy to use, and just as easy as it is to add a custom image, you can just as easily remove it. So I hope this video was very easy to understand and you have a pretty good idea of how to customize the actual main background of your website. Once again, thank you very much for watching. Master background is a section on the theme and design center, and have a good day.